right, all right, all right. So this was on my mind, and when something is on my mind, I just like to talk about it, right then and there because my day tomorrow is going to be a little busy, and I probably won't even care about this topic tomorrow because I have other things on my mind. So I like to do things when I'm thinking about it. I call this bashing does not work when people see the opposite. So here's what I mean, right? Let's think of somebody who is pretty petite, right? But then you have somebody else going around saying that they obese and they weigh 400 pounds, but we looking at somebody and we see they're petite. Let's think of somebody who we know is very Jada Pinkett, right? Jada Pinkett is short and she's petite, right? I'm just using her as an example because I tried to find somebody all of us knew that was small to make this more real, right? So would it work? Would it be effective if a bunch of people would have gone and say, Jada Pinkett, look at her, she obese and she 400 pounds and all of this, and she, got cellulite all over her body? Would that work? When people see her on all of these movies, people have seen her in person, and she's small. Does that work? Would that really, would people even believe that? Okay, so here's where I'm going with this. A lot of this bashing, the reason I'm no longer caring about what these guys say online, and I don't even talk about them hardly because I think there's so much going on in the world that's about to happen with the United States and just around the world, period, that I don't even care really about what they have to say. Um, but here's what I got to say, right? All of this bashing of black women that's been going on for a decade or more had black women, we kind of see we kind of started to see who black women really are. A lot of us already knew, but some didn't understand it. Some just wanted to keep fighting the good fight because they felt like all of their problems was because of black men, and if black men disappeared, then black women would be okay. It was kind of this coddling of black women. uh, and I think it's because sometimes when we are ourselves, we kind of see all black women as ourselves. I don't do that. I don't see all black women as being me, so I don't take things personal, everything that happens to another black woman, because I'm clear that all brown skinned people are not me. I'm clear on that. All brown skinned people with kinky hair, 4C hair, they're not me. I'm very clear on that. So I don't take things personal, but I've seen some black women want to kind of coddle and make a lot of excuses, and kind of still want to get mad at all of the guys at what they do. I don't bother to get mad. I just don't pay them any attention. Unless you got some money for me at this time in my life, unless you got some money, you don't really get my attention that well, okay? Because I'm too focused on getting to where I want to be, okay? I really want to get to where I want to be. It's no more just wanting, and wishing. I'm going to get what I want, and that's what I'm focused on. And unless these people got some money to offer, some good money, I don't care what they have to say. But no, well, here's what I'm saying. So I was talking about how a lot of black women get so upset about all these lies and all these, and that all of them are not lies that these guys say, but all this bashing of black women and stuff. And I use Jada Pinkett as an example, right? Because would it work to call black women a bunch of hair hat hooligans and a bunch of weave wearing and all this blonde hair? Would it work if if not that many black women, I say wore weaves? And I have nothing against, that the weave or nothing like that. I have no problem with it because I'm very much into doing whatever I want to do. Okay. And that's a derogatory term he used, right? So I'm not criticizing the weaves. I'm just saying, would it work, right? Some of the things they say, right? If they say, oh, black women love Pookie and Ray Ray, or if they say, oh, just think of some of the things they say, okay? But then you see a lot of black women who actually, let's say if majority let's say a majority of black women were not invested in the black collective like that, right? Let's just say, because the problem is the reason why a lot of people believe what a lot of these bashers say is because too many black women are still invested in black men and the black collective period. Okay, too many black women are still invested, and because and they defend pedophiles. That's what I'm saying. So the reason I'm trying to make this clear, the reason why the only way the bashing can work and make people and make black women really look bad is black women's behavior. So if black women did the complete opposite of what these guys were saying, then it wouldn't even make sense, right? So if they say, oh, black women just choose a bunch of Pookie and Ray Rays and thugs, that's all they want. But then you see 85% of black women expanding their options, leveling up, and practicing hypergamy. Nobody would believe them. That wouldn't make sense. They would say, well, that doesn't even sound right because most black women I know, they're with millionaires. So I don't know what you're talking about. And not that you have to be a millionaire, but even up in the like middle to upper class, so you have to be no millionaires, okay? I was stretching it a little bit with a millionaire. But if majority of black women practice hypergamy, say if they weren't as invested in the black collective, right, and majority of them practice hypergamy, would anybody believe these guys when they say, "Oh, black women just want a bunch of Pookie and Ray Rays"? And you know what has come to be revealed about Pookie and Ray Ray? That anybody who is a black man is a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Anybody who is a black man is a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That was kind of revealed when I listened to CK and Kendall St. Charles. I think it was last year or the year before last when they was talking about how the goalposts keep moving, right? So people call CK's the father of her first daughter, called him a thug, and he went to school, went to college, and graduated. And his father, I think, is some kind of lawyer or a judge or something, right? And the same thing with Kendall St. Charles. He's not a Pookie or Ray Ray either. It just didn't work out. So I think we see what the problem is that a lot of these guys that say Pookie and Ray Ray, yeah, you have those Pookie and Ray Rays, but it seems like every black man is a Pookie or a Ray Ray, no matter if he got a college degree, no matter if he's a doctor, no matter what he is, if he's a lawyer, if he is a black man, he is a Pookie or a Ray Ray. And I noticed that when I saw them upload those videos about how they explain the kind of men that were the fathers of their children, although it didn't work out, they were not. They were the ideal black men that a lot of these black women keep saying they want. Those were the ideal black men. Okay. So anyway, that's why I'm saying that. So Pookie and Ray Ray just must be black men, period. Then. Okay, and this is according to how any black woman who is messing with a black man is accused of messing with Pookie and Ray Ray. But so I say that to say, if majority of black women practice more hypergamy, expanded their options more, did whatever they want to do, and did not take as much mess off of their own group of men as they have been taking, would what they be saying really work? If more black women practice hypergamy, you wouldn't see as much on welfare. And I have nothing, like I said, I have nothing against welfare. Well, you know, sometimes it does hurt people who are more middle class because more people who are more middle class, upper class, more money have to come out their pockets. I'm from Tuskegee, Alabama, and unfortunately, that city could not be built up because it's a like a 90, close to 100% black town, and majority of people don't pay taxes because it's a whole lot of people on welfare. So a lot of people don't pay taxes, and that town cannot be built up. Okay. So it does hurt. Okay, it does hurt. But and it's not even on welfare. Some people just don't pay that high in taxes even if they're not on welfare. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if a lot of black women, say if they chose not to have all these children by these guys, right? Talking about birthing children for the revolution, because they tried that mess in the 60s. You know, it was a letter called Poor Black Women between the leader of the Black Panther parties in the 60s, telling black women not to get on birth control because they saying is the white man want to cause a genocide, and they want to birth more black babies for the revolution. They tried this. They've been doing this since the 60s, trying to get black women to have all these babies without no type of commitment or without any kind of stability, but just have a bunch of children with no plan. Okay. What if black women decided they weren't going to go fall for that mess? Okay. What if black women say, we're not going to be having a bunch of babies and no plan and no financial stability and no stable family? We're not going to do it. Okay. So with all of this stuff that they're currently saying, would it even mean anything? Would it even be relevant to a lot of people? If black women were doing the only people it might be relevant to are people who are out the country who don't even know what black women do in the United States. Okay. But if black women chose to stabilize their womb, okay, and not have a bunch of children for head counts, would a lot of stuff that these guys be saying, would it even matter, or would they just be looking crazy? Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot of black women have, and it's funny how these guys say that black women don't support them when black women seem to have done everything these guys have told them to do. Black women allowed these guys to denigrate them using the lyrics. Black women just allowed these guys to keep impregnating them, having all their babies. Now they can't hardly go nowhere. They can't do nothing. And it just really hurt, really hurt the collective, and then not practicing hypergamy because you want to be so loyal to a group of people who really made it clear that they don't want to build with you, but you still want to be loyal. This is why their bashing works, okay? For other people who are listening, okay? Like I said, I don't care. But this is why they don't sound as crazy. Because what if you were doing the total opposite of what they called you? Okay? You were practicing hypergamy. You expanded your options. You did whatever you wanted to do. Moved around the world. Decided not to have a bunch of children just for quantity, but decided to breed for pedigree. Okay? If black women chose to do that, then what these guys say wouldn't even make any sense. A lot of things they say don't make sense. So I'm not trying to say that what they say makes sense, but what I'm saying is that black women have chosen to let these guys be their brains. A lot of black women have, not all, but a lot of black women have. They have chosen just the same way they support R. Kelly, knowing goodness well he had a sex cult and abusing underage girls and grown women. But you have a lot of black women that still buy his music, that still go to his concert. And see, that's why people don't disagree all the time with what these guys say. This is why people don't always disagree with Tommy Sotomayor. This is why people don't always disagree with all the stuff these other guys say. Because black women have seriously been exposed like nobody's business, especially at the start of this year. Black women have been exposed so much. The truth about black women has really been exposed. Okay? And so I hope I'm making sense. I just wanted to just get that out and talk about that, because I'm not trying to take up for anybody and say what these guys are doing is right. But I do believe that even though these guys don't mean well when they're bashing, I do believe it's a wake-up call for a lot of black women who are meant to not be a part of the judgment that's coming on black people and the world, really. I think it's a wake-up call for a lot of black women, black identified women. I'm going to have to learn how to not use that word black. But I think it's a wake up call for a lot of women to just just really disconnect from a lot of toxicity. Period. I think it's just a wake up call. Um, and nature and the universe was using these guys to do it, to wake up certain women. But anyway, that'll be it, and I'll talk to you soon.